everybody, hello everybody, it's Bugsy, the Chaotic Jester, aka right now, the Fan Brat Basher, or sometimes, one person called me the Basher of Bashtania. I like that. But anyways, a lot of you wanted me to talk about Future Gohan, but he hasn't really been doing anything lately ever since the whole toomami thing. But I wanted to do something where I talk about his old videos, because a lot of you still want me to talk about it, and I never did get to talk about it because back in those days I was trying to defend him. Now, the thing is, I just feel like, when I look at this old video, it just shows his decline. Because everybody, we all know, we know the dude said he loved toomami, he loved old Cartoon Network. And essentially, Toonami Aftermath does that, And it's not for you watch it every now and again in small doses to feel that little sculpture of nostalgia. And nothing's wrong with that. Nowadays, Toonami Aftermath has a lot more blocks and stuff, and it's so awesome. It's actually pretty awesome. And I'm like, and when I watched this was before we actually figured out Toonami was actually coming back in those days. And basically, I just felt, when I watched this again after it's been a while since I've seen this, but it just shows me that he always thought, we're sheep for watching this. I always hate that mentality too.
Decisions are that person's.
Hey, people, I'm Annie the Enigma, his boyfriend. I mean, his girlfriend, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that came out wrong.
You make some weird gender-bent fanfic for... Someone's gonna make some weird gender-bent fanfic of this. I
am not wanting that, okay? I know. Okay, people, don't... I'm his girlfriend.
Honey, I'm gonna say...
Okay, I'm trying to...
Honey, if it happens, I'm sending it to you.
Okay.
And of course you'd say okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay then, so let's watch the video
But anyways,
see what the morons at.
And trust me, he was one of the YouTubers I really did respect when it came to old Toonami and old Cartoon Network, because we had the same mindset. But I guess where we differed was basically when Toonami came back. Today I'm gonna try and show you mostly all the videos that he was talking about Toonami. To just show you his decline and why I kinda don't. It's hard.
It's not easy for him to say it, but he doesn't respect. Sorry, not. What is up with me?
I kinda do and I kinda don't. It's hard to really explain, because he was cool. He was cool to me. We were cool. I used to talk to him in the comments all the time. He was a pretty cool dude, but when he just did this, I just was like, I defended him. But when he went overboard with it, oh, you hate Toonami, okay. You could have made you could have made one video and that could have been it. But no, you had to run it to the ground. And even some people were like, when I did my Toonami Fateful fan rant, I was heated at all of what Future Gohan was saying back in those days. I mean, now it's I don't care, because Toonami's doing better, even if the ones that did support don't want to support it anymore. But it still irks me, because some of you actually wanted this. You cared about it enough to get it, and since it didn't get what you want, you feel like it's your right to badmouth it. It was trying, and now look at it. It's doing the best.
Truth is, people, if when something came, when Toonami, even I was wanting it to come back, but even I was shocked that it came back for a short time, and after discovering that it was because it wasn't what people wanted, your tastes change after a while, and you don't realize it. That's the truth of reality. That's why Looney Tunes changed after a while. They had to change. That's why a number of things have had to change. And people tend to forget what things were like in the past and even how they were in the past, and they think, oh, it's gonna be awesome even now, and then they realize, hey, they changed this and that, or they didn't change this and that. Oh, you're gonna throw a hissy fit. People, just be glad it's back. But since you people didn't, they took it right back off the air.
And then,
but
they
there
didn't
you
take
go.
it right back off the air. Technically, it's still around.
Yeah, according to them, they didn't have the funds to keep it.
Yeah, because back in those days, it was because Stuart Snyder sank everything into Naruto. Do I think Naruto single-handedly killed Toonami? No. Because FutureGohan's like, Naruto killed Toonami. No, Naruto didn't kill Toonami. Stuart Snyder, when he was still president, killed Toonami. That man deserves all that freaking hate that you're giving Naruto. But, now all of us know the truth. But it's just like, I'm talking about this just because a lot of you wanted to know how I felt about it. I gotta tell you, back in the day, I defended him because I felt like he had the right to his opinion. But when he started calling all of his fans stupid for liking how Toonami is now, it got me angry, because it just that was the first time I ever really saw a fan brat, really, because he turned into one completely. They didn't have this, they didn't have that, they picked up all these other animes. And then, he talked about this one dude talking about, because he said what I said, they can only get what they can afford, and he's acting like he knows freaking business. But I'm like, they only could get what they can afford because they wanted to see if Toonami really had the pull to get some of their freaking audience back.
People, if you really wanted Toonami back, support it no matter what it was doing. And realize that with the business manpower they had, they really needed your support in order to pull through the first few years. So, at least the first few months or even first year. So, pretty much, it's the fan base. Even if you were disappointed, if you're still a true fan at heart, you'd actually still be there for him. It's kind of like why Sonic is still around. And in fact, Sega hasn't learned anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sega needs to take a lesson, actually.
And some of you guys, who here, and say this in the comments, who here liked freaking Dead Man's Wonderland and freaking Cashew Sins? Because I didn't even know those animes even existed when Toonami came back, and I saw them and they were freaking awesome, and it got me to read Dead Man's Wonderland on Manga Stream, and I suggest highly that you do. It's so good. So good. And he's like, they got it from the bargain bin anime. I'm like, they could only get what they could afford. Guys, they could only get what they could have, and they had Cowboy Bebop and freaking Ghost in the Shell because that's all they had. That's all freaking Adult Swim could give them because they didn't have enough funds for it. And then, okay. And let me tell you.
Now, yeah.
Let me finish. Toonami Aftermath, it's just that one little bump of nostalgia. But now we're about to get into some deep territory. So, for those of you, just be ready, because this is about to get heavy. I do not mean
the good kind. We mean the bad, and that is Future Gohan.
And trust me,
let's listen to some of his
And trust me,
videos.
He's doing some good stuff nowadays. He's partnered with Frederator, and that's cool. I'm not really gonna bash on him for this. This is just like sort of retrospect. It's kind of like this is done in retrospect, like after the fact, because I didn't really have the fan brat basher persona back then. I kind of did, and every now and again I would do rants, but other than that, really nothing. And this part, he would do unboxing.
Also, people, forgive me for how I acted earlier. I just didn't have my head on straight. So let's listen to this.
For?
Can you find it? Huh?
What are you apologizing for?
I sounded funny.
It's alright.
I think I sounded funny.
And this one he was talking about those boys that made the big old lady cry, and I was mad at those little bastards for that. Yeah, I said bastards. They shouldn't have made a big old lady like that cry. I'd have been, if I was on that bus, those little motherfuckers would get beaten down. Trust me and y'all.
Man, if I was on that bus, I'd reach over and slap them right across the head, or better yet, I'd punch them.
Fuck slapping them. Me and Yonky would be like, you want to talk about this old lady? You know. Well, actually, I think it'd be me and Nick. Yonky and I don't really like go out and fight people. Back in the old days, me and Nick used to. And we would sound like Jay and Silent Bob when we do it. Yeah, Nick always liked to say snooch to the nooch.
Now you can possess me and actually beat some people up if you wanted to, but I normally don't do that. But
and we'd be like,
hey!
No, we'd sit on that bus and like, what are you little we wouldn't care. If they were kids, we'd go a little bit easy on them. I'd be like, what do you little motherfuckers do for your lives, huh? Nick would have pointed out that one of their fathers was an alcoholic. We'd have got them so. See, the one thing that me and Nick can do in spades is talk shit about people and get them angry. But we'd be able to beat them up to back that up. And we were like, if you mess with this you're sorry to this old lady. Say it. We're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, our moms and dads will stop you. And they'll be like, bring them on. We'll tell them how we'll tell them how you guys treated an old lady until she cried on a bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to talk about that too because that really did piss me off and it really made me sad for that old lady. Because what they said.
I understand. I remember when that got on the news.
Okay.
There we go.
These are the first.
Have you found the video?
These were the first 3. You guys probably know because I actually did make a response video. I don't think I can find it now, but it was in here. Back when you could do responses. Let me see if I can find it. Probably I can't.
When I
But
got to Hollywood,
basically, I
they said,
just kinda did damage control for that whole situation.
Hey guys, FutureGoHanSSJ2 here, and yes, Toonami was announced. You go, stop spamming my inbox and comment sections telling me that.
See,
Thank you though.
and I'm only gonna say this.
Yes. Toonami, yeah, been
This is
confirmed
back when we were
26, even though I already knew this.
I can't believe. Okay.
Don't-
He's like, I can't believe people haven't you realize that it's wolf in sheep's clothing. Adult Swim with Toonami promos is not Toonami. Okay, I want to say this right now. I'm about to lay this down because I always wanted to say this to you, Future Gohan. Let me explain. Freaking Cartoon Network don't really give a shit about Toonami. And the people who worked in Adult Swim now were the people that worked on Toonami. So it only made sense for Toonami to be on Adult Swim. You, my friend, even Mars Girl ranted on you. And I gotta say, you fucked up when Mars Girl is ranting on you, man. Now let me tell you something. I mean, I don't care if you don't watch Toonami anymore. This is more about what I should have said to you back in those days. But no, I wanted to give you a chance. But when you started going completely apeshit and acting like a stereotypical fan brat, I just got so angry. I didn't even want to defend you at that. I didn't want to defend you anymore. You've proven to me when it came to Toonami, you really didn't care. I felt like all of the things you said about having Toonami back were just lies. Lies you even told yourself. Because you wanted it back, but you wanted it back in its old format. You wanted it back the way it used to be. And I'm sorry to tell you, it ain't never gonna go back to that. And I wish it could. But, it's only for Saturdays, and it's not on Cartoon Network's to-do list anymore. They don't really need Toonami. On Adult Swim, it's what's giving them what they want. And soon we're gonna get The Intruder Part 2, and it's gonna be sweet. And I feel bad that you can't enjoy it for what it is. You let your own cynicism.
Whoa! Intruder Part 2. I love that part.
Yeah, honey,
I actually did love that part. I really did. I'm not lying.
Anyways, I told her this before, but she has her memory. Anyways,
sorry.
It's just the fact of the matter is, it makes me kind of sad that you can't enjoy Toonami for what it is. You were so obsessed with how it was running. You just kind of went like, I don't even care anymore. Toonami is what it is because, I'm just saying, even if you think it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, I want you to know one thing. Toonami's only back because if Adult Swim didn't do that April Fool's Day joke, people wouldn't have wanted it back. And you were the one that signed it, sir. And I want you to realize that you were the one that did it. Like, again, I know this is talking about old videos, but I felt like this is what I needed to say to you. The things I wanted to say. But really just didn't want to because I didn't want to turn this into a fucking flame war. It's not like no one would defend you though because of what you said. And even I was kind of happy when you ran against those fan brats that were tripping about the April Fool's Day joke because I thought your head was in the right place. But it really isn't in the right place. I guess it was never in the right place because you just see it as Adult Swim trying to cash in on the nostalgia of the past. But it's not. It's its own thing on Saturdays. You don't see adults. You don't see like Adult Swim promos when Toonami's on. No, you see freaking Toonami promos and sponsors for their commercials and other stuff. But they only do those sponsors and commercials so Toonami can get some revenue. If we're watching and also buying, because it's really an optional thing to buy some of their products that they show, commercial-wise, we're supporting Toonami. A little bit of that money goes into their pockets. And it irks me. It sort of still irks me that you insulted everybody just because they were willing to give this Toonami a chance. I used to truly respect you. This is long before I knew Markiplier a little bit. I never really got to talk to him, but this is before I knew about Markiplier. It would be so cool if I knew him. But not even the point. I'm just saying, this is the whole reason why I'm doing this. Because I wanted to say the last things to you. And I do give you props for what, I do give you props. You basically did a video for my friend Justin. And, you know, for his death, and you talked about it, and I was kind of happy about that. That's why I didn't totally like unsubscribe from you, because you showed that you do care about things and people. I just felt like, you know, you called all the fans idiots, and I'm gonna get to that video in a minute, but I just wanted to talk about this for a minute. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter at this point if you watch Toonami or not, but I really do. You know, back in those days when I started, when you started this and doing these videos where you got angrier and angrier, yeah, I do think of you when it comes to Toonami. You were a hypocrite. You were a hypocrite. You wanted all these things. They couldn't get them in time. And you just proved to be like this spoiled little kid that didn't get what he wanted.
Mhm.
It pains me to say that because you wanted Toonami back more than anybody. You wanted it back even more than I did. You were more active than I was when it came to bringing back Toonami.
Yeah. If you really wanted it back, you wouldn't care how it was run. You would just want it back because it's like an old friend. You wouldn't care if that person was, you know, changed in any way.
And if any of you former Toonami faithful fans take pot shots at my girlfriend for saying what she's saying, oh, all you bastards are gonna die. Well, mentally, in a sense. But anyways, now we're gonna get to the other one. So, hold on to your hats, kids. We ain't done. This and Superman versus Goku, I'm not even gonna get into that because I've talked about it so many times to about so many different people, and people think Goku's the most fucking invincible person in the world when he actually isn't, and I don't need to freaking talk about it every freaking time. All I say is Death Battle should be treated as entertainment and nothing more than that. I mean, I don't freaking think you should find extra meaning in Goku and Superman fighting because if it was canon, they wouldn't be fighting. I mean, in DC's defense, they'd fight for some sort of misunderstanding, or you know, even if they were fighting, they'd put it up to you guys to see who would win. They wouldn't actually have them win. They wouldn't have either win. Death Battle was like, you know, freaking. Okay, here's when he started insulting people, and I'm just gonna bring it to that point. I mean, everybody, well, god dang, everybody, Future Gohan started.
Hey, honey. Can you pause?
I can't pause the video. I don't have freaking Cam Studio anymore, so I can't pause it.
All right.
Okay, let me explain. Everybody, let me explain. Where was I at? You know, and this is when he started going downhill. The last video he made is the one that Mars Girl actually responded to.
Big moments, bold predictions, and player features. The clock is ticking.
And if anybody says that Mars Girl was paid to say that at all, I'll fucking punch you in the nose.
And I'm gonna make this video because there's a supposed rumor
Okay, let me explain. You did insult people in this one. Neo Spark said it in a calm and orderly fashion. You just went like, "Oh, I'm the one that only has respect for Toonami." I'm like, a lot of us do, and a lot of us did back in the day, and still do, and still watch it. You, on the other hand, just went completely off the rails. Now, I'm gonna find...
But a lot of anime fans haven't even heard of, and they're airing it because they don't watch it.
No, they were airing it because they know to watch it, but also, so people that haven't heard. Now, Future Gohan, I know it was hard for you to realize this, but if you remember, Toonami used to introduce us to animes we haven't even heard of. Hell, we didn't even know anime back in the day before Toonami. Probably some of us did because some of us watched Sailor Moon, but that was it. You, on the other hand, just freaking was like, oh, since it's like this and this and this, it probably introduced people to a lot of different anime at that time, even though it only had 2 animes to its name and reruns under that. They could only get what they could afford, and you should have understood that. But you were too busy seeing it as some sort of betrayal because of Adult Swim. You were too busy seeing it as some sort of betrayal on your senses. And you know this part right here.
That's the only reason. Really, honestly, this is undeveloped, low-budgeted crap that they're just throwing at us. They're like, here, you want to know?
Again, man, I'm going to show you this video because basically these are all the things I wanted to say to you. First off, they can only get what they can afford. And yeah, you can dispute this argument all you want, but let me tell you something, man. I took business classes in high school, so I have a good understanding on how a business works. I have a good handle on it. You, I don't know. I don't think you really did get it back in those days. Probably you do now. But it's kind of good that you have the sense now to stay away from Toonami fans.
Anymore. You realize those views are rapidly declining. And Adult Swim is losing some major money. And Adult Swim doesn't care.
Okay, let me explain. Just because a few anime voice actors got their feelings hurt by Adult Swim. See, here's how it goes. Adult Swim. Honey, could you stop typing for a minute? See, Adult Swim does care now. Trust me, I think Jason DeMarco made it abundantly clear to Michael Azzo that people want this, let's bring it back. And Michael Azzo was probably like, no, guys, you're only going to get like this much. You're going to get like this much. You need to prove yourselves. And you know, now it's a staple of freaking Adult Swim on Saturdays now.
We got to go back in that time machine. That was a nice act. We got to go back. We finally got that one day we wanted back in that time machine. And now that they know how much views they can get off of Adult Swim.
Okay, now you're making it sound like some sort. Okay, also, now you made it sound like some sort of evil corporation. Like, yes, Adult Swim's like, yes. Oh, we know the anime fans want it. See, and even they don't even attack the anime fans.
Wait a second. Adult Swim, an evil corporation? Adult Swim was made via Cartoon Network. They are basically a block made via Cartoon Network and are therefore...
Even though they do have their own studio, but at the same...
Yeah, they have their own studio, but they are also underneath Cartoon Network's rule in some cases. But still, they have to abide by some laws. They aren't a corporation.
And they're not trying... And
They're not evil in any sense either.
they're just
I mean, if you let your kids watch it, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah, but that's not even the point. The point is, they wanted to see if we really did want it back. You know how freaking things on Adult Swim get canceled, they don't got a lot of views? And it's not like they were trying to milk this. Toonami didn't have any money whatsoever. They only had a little bit to get some of their, they only had a little bit to cut some of their old clips together, so we could have something to look at between commercials. So that's why they use the old Tom. They used not Tom 4, Tom Point 3, I think. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. What?
People like
Yeah.
Cullen's not coming back. This is busy with Transformers and other shit. People like, oh yeah, they can't bring Sarah back. She costs too much.
Well, now they got her back. I always wanted you to do like looking at Toonami now, but I guess you can't because all the fans here to Sunday, everybody and their mom freaking ripped you a new bunghole. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, dude. Again, when you weren't doing Toonami stuff, I actually enjoyed it. But I hate YouTubers that beat down a dead horse. If you're gonna get angry about Toonami, okay, can you put it to one video? Was it that maddening to see freaking Adult Swim, see Toonami in the arms of Adult Swim, caressing her, fondling her cupcakes? Sorry, that I can't help it, guys. I can be serious, but sometimes funny shit like that just slips out of me. You kind of, in my mind, kind of acted like that. Like, it's like you were betrayed by freaking Toonami for going to Adult Swim. And it just kind of made me wonder, like, oh, what was, for a while I just left you alone. I was like, if you were gonna be like this, what was the point of me watching your videos if you're gonna always be this negative towards something like this? And for a while, before you actually paid your respects to Justin, I was actually going to freaking unsubscribe to you. But then when you did that, I was like, maybe you're not so bad. But, you had the respect for the dead, and that's good. Not a lot of people did when Justin died. A lot of people made, like, freaking fake tributes of him holding the gun to his head. Just sick shit. And it really angered me because, yes, he killed him. He had depression and he committed suicide. But still, because what Justin always tried to do is make people smile. And don't think I hate you. I don't. Trust me, you use hate, throw it around. But me, I don't hate you. I don't even dislike you. I'm kind of going back to the point where I was a fan of you. It took me a while, but I got back to it. When I look at these old videos, it just reminds me you basically lost your shit over freaking Toonami, and you pretty much went at all the fans calling us idiots for freaking going for the Toonami schedule. So, man, don't think I hate you because I did this. Because I don't hate you. You used hate like it was nothing over freaking Toonami Aftermath, but I don't really hate you, personally. I just hate what you did, man. I hate what you did. Because, you saw these little shows, you didn't understand You really didn't understand that Toonami can only get what they could afford. That's how TV works. You know, a company's not gonna pour all their money in something that isn't a surefire thing if they don't know that they are going. If they don't know that they
can't
are gonna make a profit off of it.
Have a guaranteed winner and then actually have one show. They've got to spend their money wisely. It's like your allowance. Here's a certain amount of money, use it wisely.
Mm-hmm.
They can't just get the hottest shows out there. They have to nitpick.
And they had to see. I'm not trying to tell you what you. I'm trying to tell you kind of what you said was wrong, and I guess it was a little unfair for everybody to gang up on you. Because everybody did, and oh my god, everybody really did have some good points. I ain't gonna lie. But you kind of had that coming. You basically insulted all of us Toonami fans for supporting it. And you, when it started, you were the biggest supporter. And it boggled my mind.
The fact that you were the biggest supporter and you turned your back on them just because there was something you didn't like. It's kind of like having your friend come back when you wanted him back and then finding out there was something changed about him that turned out to be a good thing, and you're like, oh, you're not what I thought you were.
Or here's another example. You had a friend for many, many years. And,
hey guys, FutureGo.
And his name was Doug, and you found out he was a hippie. And you didn't know how to handle it back then. You were like, what the how'd you become a hippie? You were a cool Doug. How did that happen? He's like, man. He's like, he looked at me and said, man. He would look at you and say, man, I just had things going on in my life and I had to change. And for a while, you kind of resent him. You go like, why, man? You lost your mind. You used to be cool. But then you find out, your hippie friend was cool. You just couldn't see it. And yes, I was talking about Doug. Yeah, Doug wasn't always a hippie. Just thought I'd tell you that, guys.
FutureGohanSSJ2. And this is my response to the whole Toonami fiasco. And
no, but man, you were attacking everybody else that was involved in it, that was supporting it, and that's not cool. It wasn't cool. Even Mars Girl called you out. Everybody and their mama called you out, and it was bad. It was a bad situation. I've never seen people hate on another person that much since freaking Chris Chan, and freaking this one little girl that is a fan Bratz that had her own thing, Princess Elizabeth. You amassed a lot of freaking hate, and I guess that's what made. I think that's the reason. That's one of the reasons you got booted off of Toonami Neo. I don't know what happened back then, so I ain't gonna freaking say like I knew what happened. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the way you. But back to this. I'm not trying to imply that anything about Toonami Neo and everything else. I'm not trying to imply anything. But honestly, this is when everybody was basically after you, because this is where you just went like, you didn't really say fuck you to them, but it's almost like you kind of did. The reason Neo Games Works talked about it, because he talked about it calmly. And I know rants are sometimes when you scream and yell. I get that. But the way you went after everybody when you ranted, it just went to show that they didn't want to hear it. You did 2 videos. You did 2 videos attack. You did the second video and you kind of attacked them, and they went after you. They came after you. Oh, honey, you actually left something on here. But, like I wanted to really say to you back then, Toonami's doing just fine without you, sir. Whether you like it or not, Toonami's here to stay. Even though you don't like it being on Adult Swim. Even if you think it's this massive betrayal, how could they? Even if you think all this other stuff about the new Toonami and how it is now, it doesn't matter because people still like it. And maybe not for the reasons you did. But now some of the kids of the day are
in my opinion, as long as Toonami's around, I'll be happy.
And even the kids of the day are watching it now. So yeah, we don't need some of you old faithful fanboys anymore. But I'm always going to be a Toonami faithful. To the day.
Yeah, so mine, I kind of want to go see the rest of the sunset. In fact, I want to go walk a bit. I've been inside all day. Kind of mad at myself already because I've been inside all day.
Okay, hon. Just go outside when we're done. Okay, now. And
yeah.
And you compared them to CrapCon, which is CatCon. They ain't like CatCon. The whole thing, man. The key word in this is business. They had to see if we were ready for it, if we wanted to watch it. And now those ratings are through the roof. They're a little bit lower, but it's still enough to stabilize Toonami. And yeah, they pulled it back. They pulled it back a few hours, but they're still going strong. And as long as there's still fans like us that still watch it, even if some of you older fans, some of you other fans are like, no, I don't care about this anymore. As long as there's still the Toonami Rundown and other Toonami like podcasts, they're still going to be around. They're still going to be around. Even if you guys say that they're not. This is just old things I wanted to say to you, FutureGohan. I'm kind of happy that you got partnered to Frederator. I wish I could. I hear they pay well. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that. Honestly, man, I just wanted you to see this video and kind of see how far you kind of came. And, it started because you went after people. You could have just had an opinion, and maybe a few people would have been on you. But no, you insulted everybody, and that's what sent everybody on you. And that's what happened. And now I know you got a little bit more sense to stay away from Toonami. I'm actually scared that you're gonna burn down freaking William Street because if you ever do go to freaking Cartoon Network, you're gonna be like, where's William Street? Oh! But that's just me being me. I'm not even gonna air. I'm gonna play this just a bit, and that's it. Oh, we're going on for 40. Dang.
Yeah, honey, we've been talking for a while, but I've just been letting you rant. The sun's already said it, and I've only got a few minutes before I can catch the rest of the race.
You realize how I have a problem with this?
I'll let you chat.
And really, and the whole problem is you just didn't like how this was going from the jump, and you just, after this, I know you just walked away from it. And it's good that you did, because seriously, not the fan. We don't need you old Toonami. You don't need you old Toonami faithful fans to think you know Toonami and now you hate this new Toonami because it's like, because what it really boils down to, for every fan that hates the new Toonami now, it's just you guys can't accept change. Really, that's what it is. And you may say it's not that, but you're acting like it was. You were acting like it was. So, that's my opinion. But that's only all I gotta say. People that love Toonami and Toonami Aftermath and still freaking love Toonami Neo, this thing wasn't for you. This was just a retrospective. Well, sorta, yeah, it was a retrospective. But let me tell you one more thing. Next time, if I can find some of his videos, we're gonna go after Sailor Moon Red. Oh goody, oh joy, this is gonna be so much fun.
Oh, that sounds like fun, considering I know a lot about Sailor Moon.
Oh, honey, you don't know what he does.
Alrighty then, so, sexy.
So, for most of you guys...
Is it Andy?
So, for most of you guys...
Because you're already pushing the limit on how much YouTube will allow.
No, not really. So, for most of you guys, I will say this. For most of you guys, this rant wasn't for you guys. And if you got something you wanted to say about Toonami now, say it in the comments. But don't start a flame war, guys. If you start a flame war, I'm gonna freaking delete your comments, straight up. Because my channel, because when I was talking to FutureGohan before about Toonami coming back, a lot of you just took that opportunity to jump on him. And I don't want that to happen again. So, all I'm saying, if you're going to talk about Toonami, just be respectful of people. That's all I gotta say. And FutureGohan, I don't hate you. This was just a video that finally, now I finally got to say everything I needed to say to you. Whether they were unkind and mean, that's how I felt. Those were feelings, those were things I had to say to you, but I never did because I felt like people were ganging up on you enough, and I felt like that was enough. But I wanted to say what I needed to say to you. But other than that, your videos up till now, your videos now are a lot better, and I'm happy that you're doing so well. And I'm happy you got partnered by Frederator. See you later, dude. Maybe you make a new video, I'll comment on it, we'll talk through the comments like that one time. We'll have some fun. See you guys later. I'm Bugsy the Chaotic Jester. And I'll see you guys later. And probably, since tomorrow is gonna be June, Forever Rivals, guys. It's gonna be sweet. See you guys later.